right. Waiting on a couple more people. Let me pull out what we did last week. If I can find it easily. Still a little wet for some reason. But
That's awesome.
We had fun with that, didn't we? Worked on this chicken pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Got a little that area dark, but that yeah, we kept it pretty simple. And sometimes the simpler you keep them, sometimes the better they are. You don't overthink things. Yeah, that's what happens. You work fast and that's why I mix colors ahead of time, because when I paint, I can really concentrate on painting instead of thinking about mixing colors or colors not right and stuff, and getting that into my head while I'm painting. That kind of stuff. You don't need that. Just keep it simple. The simplest you can make it, and you can concentrate a lot better. Things get turn out all right sometimes. Fun piece.
Awesome.
Yeah, you guys all did really well. I'm so happy about that too. Back in the drying racks. Okay. Today, though, you guys are in for a treat. We're going to have some fun today. Sort of like that, but just a little different. A lot of sheep. You're painting some sheep. Great lighting on this one. This is like early morning lighting. You got this, rim lighting coming from being backlit. I'll pull it up in a second, but that's kind of stuff I like to look at. It's more unusual, and just creates a better mood in the painting, and so that's why I always kind of gravitate towards when I want to paint something. So let's see. I'll pull it up. We got see how everybody is here. Molly showed up. Hey, Molly and Allison's here. All right, we are set to go. Hi,
so
guys.
You're going to do a portrait orientation, yeah? Instead of landscape?
I'm doing it vertical.
Interesting.
Why? Were you going to do it some other way? You can do it any way you want.
Okay.
No. I give you pretty much the whole image. You do whatever you want. If you want to take and trim it, and just do a landscape like that, you can do that. I don't care. That'll work. As long as it works, you're fine. I'm looking for unusual a little bit sometimes, not just
I just realized that one of my sheep's heads is cut off. I might need to go.
You cut off a sheep head? You better go sew it on.
I'll just add it in, but I don't have a monitor to look at, so I don't know. Maybe I better take a picture of it with my phone or something.
Did you cut this guy's off?
Yeah, somehow when it printed it came off like
that. Yeah. Sometimes in my printer thing, I have to, make sure it all fits. Yeah,
usually mine does, so I didn't even check it. I was like, oh, I put the glossy paper in the right way, and I was all happy, but I didn't see I cut it off.
Sorry.
No worries.
It happens.
So when you said you were looking for the unusual, what were you talking about?
Well, I mean, yeah, if I like, this definitely could could be a horizontal painting, and that'd be fun.
Do you like that skyline? Is that what you were after? The difference in the skyline?
Yeah, because I like this uniqueness of lighting that I think I'd miss all this stuff up here that I think is kind of unusual, that, how light this is. Just the little challenges of trying to get contrasts, and see how low you can keep them, and I just think they're more interesting to try and do those. Especially, it's almost like sections of paintings when you get in here and you do this one, because this one's really grayed out. But there are things back in here. There's telephone poles. There's some grasses, and then back in here, there are some sheep yet to find back in there. And then the skyline being at an angle like that. Just I thought it was kind of interesting. I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'll come back and I'll trim it to there. It's a big deal. It'll be a smaller painting. I deserve what I get. Right? So anyway, what I also liked about this was the color. Yeah, the color was really interesting, because you got this guy here, and he's in the cools and the blues and the purples, but yet he's got a little bit of warm greens in here coming in. And then you go to the ones behind him where you get this guy, where he is kind of, grayed out. He's not as, vibrant as that guy. And then this guy turns a little more red as he goes back. And then the other ones, just fade off a little bit. So you get these guys way in the back here. Let me go this guy. Way in the back there, which is nothing but a basically silhouette with a little bit of a line on it. As you can tell, I removed the barbed wire that was going through here most of the places.
Oh,
That's what those lines are, barbed wire. I just didn't need it, and I didn't want to get, deal with it. But I guess I look like I missed a few spots that I, didn't get it all out. I think it's more open range and stuff, because there was a couple fence posts there, and I go, well, the fence posts were pretty clunky, and I figured they weren't adding to anything to it. They were getting in the way of the sheep. And we'll also have these, telephone poles in the back, so you don't need any more real verticals right there. So that's okay. That's why I kind of look at making sure those guys don't get in the way. The rim lighting is interesting on these guys. Let's bring this back up here again. As you can tell, this nice light that's just hitting here, coming in here. It's a little warmer down in here, and then it cools off, but it's getting lessens out, and then one little spot here, a little bit around the ears. Look for that kind of stuff. Try to find these are your final little things here to make this guy, at the end, finishing him off. And you want to take your time on these little things and make sure they're right, because those are the selling points. These are what really make it at the end. Those highlights. So don't rush them. Take your time. And make them work, because they will help. They will do real nice things here. You can see that everywhere else. You can see there's more of a warm one over here. So they do change in values and warmth temperature as we go. This guy has probably the strongest one all the way around. You nail him in his light. Make sure it's also, when you put these lines around these things, that they're not just like perfect lines, that they stagger thicknesses. They get a little thicker and then go to thin a little bit, and kind of go back and forth. Because this is wool. This has little hairs on it, as you can really see on this guy, that, sometimes I'm using just the tip of my brush to tip it down, just going around this guy and just hoping that the right amount of paint comes off at the right spots. A lot of it is just a little bit of hope too. when I do that. I don't really use a line brush for it. I'm really just going to be dropping my brush tip down and lifting it up quickly. Hopefully the right amount of paint will fall off, which, yeah, it should. It usually does. Other colors in here. I really like the gradation from this green here to the warmer brown to the grayed out color to the zero color. I mean, even at zero, if you look over here, it's really a 1. We could make it a 2 and get away with it easily. That way we have room. It doesn't have to be that bright. I don't want it. I'd rather have these two closer together. As you can tell how dark this one is, that's not even a 3. It's more of a 4 value. So that's pretty dark. So if you went to it's like 2 steps here. You got the, from a 2 to 4, but if you did a 4 and a 3, it might be too close together, but I could, we'll get it. Looks like there's also a strip of land right here. It's just slightly lighter. So that's probably some open pasture to the trees, and then up the hill. This hill too, it doesn't have to be a line. It can be a gradation, could be something like that, as simple as that, to slow you down. That's just the photography. We don't have to live with it. We can, just an arc to it would be fine. Anything like that, even with these things, just an arc, just a little rambling of a line might be nice. Same here, just a more of an arc. We'll give it a little energy, but you got to watch how fast it picks it up too, so it's not too tippy. One of the things too, if you have a lot of these arcs going back in your painting, it will be harder to have your painting sit straight, because it will always feel like it's leaning. So having a few of these horizontals, not too bad. Maybe go like this. That'll work better. So yeah, I'm not going to tip it too much then. As soon as I drew it in, I could see it was things started to tip. So I'm going to use this middle one right here to straighten out that one. Now I can give it a little tip, but this one here will straighten it out. Yeah, use that. There you go. Smart move. There you go. That's good thinking. Yeah, the greens and the colors are really good on this. And I think subtleties, if it wasn't so bright up here, I would say this is like a real nice tonalist painting. If we didn't have that bright, but we are going to keep that down. I think you probably get away with even taking this one, doubling this one down to like a 3, and then even taking this thing down to like a 5. Just, you probably could, really tone that thing down so it doesn't jump. We can always look at that later. You can always do a little glazing on it later and push everything back. That's always a good thing. Okay, so that's my plan so far. Design-wise, I don't mind them. There are a lot of sheep here, but values and things, they're all pretty similar. So it's really just basically shapes. Looking at these shapes, again, very like a nice rectangle here. Basically shapes on these guys, laying these guys out. Bigger rectangles, little ones, and how they line up. So playing with that, we'll look at that. That's about it. I'm not, there's not a whole lot more to say about this one. We're going to try to keep it gray down. Color wise, it's going to be very grayed out. Darks, very few darks, really. Almost all you see is this guy's darks and probably a little bit of heads. Everything else is more of in the gray tones. It is probably going to be more about it, 8s and 9s maybe for this guy. Well, going to be that way for a lot of them. 8s, 9s, probably. Even these guys are all going to be down here in the 8s. So they're going to be dark. and not quite black. So should be good. Okay, any questions?
Jim, instead of the telephone poles, could you maybe do it trees or something?
Yeah, you don't have to put them in. You definitely don't have to put them in. Yeah, you're not, that's one of those things I'm going to put in at the end. If
Okay.
if you don't like them, you just kind of rub them out. There's nothing around them. So it's kind of like an easy fix, if you don't like them, trees, if you want to add trees in there, yeah, but you got to really keep them in this really low value stuff. Don't let them overpower these guys. These guys have to be the darkest things. So
Okay.
that's what I'd tell you about it, but that's about it. Yeah, you can get rid of the telephone poles. If you want to put windmills in there, you can put a windmill, gauging windmill, you can do that. We have those around somewhere. We've done them. So you don't have to put anything back there either if you don't want to. So and if you do a, a little horizontal, you don't have to show anything. Then you don't need them. You'll be fine. Okay. That's it. Anything else? Okay. Let's go over to our palette and get busy. Anne Marie showed up. Anne Marie. Okay.
Hello.
I knew you'd say it.
Marie.
Hey, he's here. Okay. Colors, just this regular palette. Basically, nothing changes. Titanium white, cad yellow, light, cad red light, cad orange, ochre, yellow ochre. This is gold ochre. Just got a little more red in it. I don't know. This is back to Terra Rosa, but it should be cad. It could be red oxide red light here, or Venetian. Alizarin crimson, or rose madder if you are a Rembrandt person. Cobalt blue hue, which is getting a little sticky here. Some of the back end here. This is how I can't understand how people just lay paint on top of old paint, new paint on top of old paint. What? I don't understand it, because of the old paint is just getting older, and the new paint's not going to make it nice, richer, or anything. It's just going to make it not going to do anything. You're still going to have that old paint underneath. Phthalo green, blue. Clean that up. I got a little white into that color. I do have some transparent oxide out here too, red oxide. Don't worry about this color. Shouldn't be on here either anymore. It's pretty old. Get rid of it. All right. Then we'll be using just our regular kit, big brushes, some synthetics. Definitely going to need those probably for near the end. And big brush will do a lot. Bristle brushes will probably really come in handy for doing the grasses, painting some of these sheep. I think they're going to come in handy. So if you have anything, it's probably going to be more bristle brushes than anything else at some point. Paint eraser is always handy, nice to have. Okay, out of here. Nice palette. All right, let's look at these puppies. Look at these guys. All right, we're gonna go for probably gotta do a few darks first, but these, and then we're just gonna gray them out a little bit to like 8s, because they're really are not too many darks in this guy, but there are some warm darks, red darks in this guy's head. I think so. Let's get that done first. I'm going to go with blue. Do a couple blues here. One with alizarin. And this will be on the alizarin side. So you can, when I pull it down, you can see the purple. And then one on the blue side, just a little bit of alizarin in it, not quite as much. These are some darks I might use. They might be too cool, but you never know yet. Let's see what happens. Another one I want to do is blue again. And oxide red. I think this is one of my better, or this is oxide red light, but it's, or mine's Terra Rosa really.
Can I
these
use
warm
transparent
reds-
oxide red?
No, it's not. It's regular oxide red.
That's all I got. What would I use, alizarin then, or burnt
Oh.
sienna?
Yeah, you could use some burnt sienna with some cad red in it.
Okay.
So those are exactly the same. I'm gonna glue this one up, the smaller pile. But these two colors together, I usually, if you have Venetian work here too. You know, one of those warm reds and blues, they make a really nice smoky gray color. I also need a couple other colors because blue's a lot to ask for. The blues I see in the front, a little bit in the front, these ones, but everything else kind of goes to a little greenish red at the back there. So we're going to go do the same thing. These colors with phthalo green. Definitely going to do alizarin, phthalo green. One on the green side like this, one on the red side. And then a oxide red. Light, or Terra Rosa, or Venetian here with phthalo green. A good mix, probably on these ones. Talk about a good mix of both. So it's not too red, not too green, it's just right. As you can tell right now, it's going to be too dark. But that's somewhere on the red side. I really want one right on the green, slightly on the green side. Not too much. Okay. Let's see, anything else I see in there? Yeah. Okay. Let's look at the grass. Very grayed out stuff. If you do have transparent oxide, you do have transparent oxide or burnt sienna, we could use that and a little blue together. Let's do that. I think I'm going to get a green out of this color. Burnt sienna would work here too. Burnt sienna would definitely give me my green. One on each side. And I'm just going to take these guys down to 8ths now. Leave a little, I don't need too much up there because of the left up in the big piles. I just need a little bit to be able to grab new heads and things like that, or remake paint. So let's see what happens when we take these guys. Down with just a little bit of white. And probably be, yeah.
Last two color combinations you made, could you tell me those one more time?
Sure. Those are transparent oxide red and blue.
Okay, thank you.
No worries.
Yeah.
Just a little different. I know I've probably taken oxide red off the list, transparent oxide. But I found out, that it's, because I was really thinking of it last year that it was, I was getting oxide red light, which is just like a nice, nice warm red, but it wasn't really acting up like that. So it was like kind of a mistake, but happy mistake, let's say.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I took it away because I thought it was a mistake and didn't want it on my palette. You can see this is pretty close. This one probably just really right nails it. So this one might go just a touch more blue into it. It just doesn't need quite that much red showing through. And this one. This is oxide red again, or Terra Rosa in red. Just going to gray it out so it still can feel the red compared to that one. This one's going to be definitely on the blue side. That one's just on the red side. That should do a lot. That's going to get me a long ways. Let's see what these next ones. Yeah, I thought this was going to happen. The phthalo always takes over, really. Comes off as a nice green. Doesn't really happen too much in here because it needs to be more grayed out. This one, though, when you get to the alizarin side, you could see this guy all over this thing. So it's really, I'm going to make a bigger pile of this. This is alizarin and phthalo green with the white. And it does pretty much, as you can tell, going to get pretty much do the job. So this, I'm going to take and knock this green down a little bit with some more red into it, just to gray it out, take a little bit more of the green out of it. Not to make it this color, but it's still, if I can get the same value, I can get these two to work together. It will really be nice. And that way, everything here will work together. So it's just a little bit. There we go. Just slightly on the green side of gray. And that can sit in here. That can work. That's where I want it. This painting is basically for me done when I find those spots. Okay, this is whoops. I'm going to put all that in there, put too much weight in. This is a nice one too. This is the warm version of these guys. These are cool values. This would be the warm values of that when you go to the oxide red side and phthalo green. And all I'm going to have to do, so as you can see, I'm off. Wow, it hits the grass pretty well. You can start to see it starts to hit the grass. So this one should hit the grass. Let me see. I got to remix that one up. I didn't mix enough. It went a little cool. But it's in there. All right. So I need to mix up a little more oxide red and phthalo green. Here, I'm going to just darken this one down a little bit. There we go. See, value wise, how tight those are. You squint your eyes and you just see how they lose the colors and they all fall to about the right same gray. Let's see what these guys do. This is what I was thinking was going to end up being grass. No, a little bit too much white, but it's going to make a brown. A lot of yellow in that transparent oxide. It's a lot like, oh, good. It's a lot like burnt sienna. A lot like it. It just has a little more red tint to it. Not by much. That's pretty close. It's off. Being a little warm, like I said, it has a little more yellow to it. I said red, but a little more yellow to it there. Let's see what happens here. This one. This is on the red side. That's on the blue side. Okay. That is good. I'm going to take most of this pile, tone this pile down. This is mostly oxide, transparent oxide red and blue. As you can see, it's just a little rich. It just needs a little bit of blue added to it. And which should be good. It's not a strong color, but
How did yours get so orangey looking? Mine's gray. That's
I'm going to
oxide?
gray. I'm going to gray. Just these two together I'm going to work with for this back area here. I don't know. If you got too much gray, you might need more transparent oxide red into it. Got too gray. Okay, I think that's going to work. I'm looking at it right in here. Could go a little redder. I might have to mix this pile, add some things to that pile. Value-wise, going good. I really don't have this. I think I do have it, but I think I just have it really dark light. Let me do the grass by itself. I'm thinking oxide red, light, and green. Phthalo green. I'm going to remix this and not so much, trying to get it a little greener. So maybe I went too green. That's what I mean, not too red into it. If I had just a little more green to it. I can get it. All right. So, how much do I got to paint of that? Okay, I'm going to mix this up a little bit bigger. Need a little bit bigger pile than that. So just oxide. I said this is a oxide red light, but that's what I have right here. Phthalo green. Just I had it here, but this is just too. When I added white, I had too much white. Going for something else, and this is much better. Good. I'm going to leave that alone. And I can come back with these colors here on top to do this thing. That's good. Let's see. What else do I need? We just basically going to get some sky values back here to lighten it up. Right now, all we have is we have all the midtones for everything down in here. Basically, we just need to take these guys and heighten them up. So let's take them to like number 3. So it's going to be a lot of white. I don't think we're going to be doing too much with these two colors down here. I think we can, I think it's gonna be more warm, it's gonna be in here. But I would like to have enough room to, those areas are pretty big in the painting. So let's, hedge our bet and make sure we have a few different colors to play with up there. So we don't get, it doesn't get too flat, you're not just painting a little bit of wall or something up there. So I'm gonna take each one, just a little bit of each one of these guys and take them to about let's say 3. I don't want to go quite to 2. It's right there. See how bright that is? Each one of these guys to about there. So I put out the white first, and I just have to take a little scraping from that, put it in here. It comes pretty close really quickly. Look, green. There we go. There you go. That's your grayed out colors starting to get coming through. Purples, so you can start to see the purples and greens here. Not quite. Yeah, you never know. You do got a farmhouse up there on the top. Barely can see it, barely in there. This is probably one of the colors I was thinking was going to end up being. These kind of a grayed out purples. A little bit too bright, too dark. I mean, blue side. I don't know. I like any of these. I think I'll end up having to take some of that green and let me see what that does. Yeah, never know. These guys might come in handy in the shape too. Highlights, being able to go back and forth. Good to have. I'm gonna take this green here. That's gonna be your grass color basically on the lower end, and let's do that and see what heck color we get. Be very green. Halo just really starts to pop out of it when you start adding white. Okay, let's tone that one down with some red. I'm gonna go with cad red. I have not used cad red. So I'm gonna go add a little cad red to this, or cad red. Take this green and make it a red. That's much closer to everything than I need. That's pretty good, in fact. Just a little too red, so put some green back into it. So now you got a nice cool off gray. That would go with these guys back in here really well. But I want to tone this, take this color and tone it down with white, because I think it's going to be right in here when I'm done. Just a nicer gray. There we go. Much better. That'll help. Okay. All right, I'm going to go through the colors. I think I'm pretty much there with this last one. I start off with alizarin and blues right here. Get some of the blues in the background back in here, stuff that rich blue. Yeah, definitely you gotta come back in here. This one, it might even end up being really, really, really blue, almost pure blue, maybe just a hair of alizarin in it too at the end. You know, you get that really, really rich, rich blue in here right now. But that's just what I do. Here, and then we went some more blue here. We went with I have Terra Rosa out, but could be oxide red light or the Venetian mixed with the blues here. One on the blue side, one with the green on the red side, coming down to about eighths. Then we did the same colors, basically with the red. I mean, the reds with phthalo green. So we got phthalo green and alizarin here coming down. This is on the phthalo green side. This is on the alizarin side. This color is pretty much the painting right there. That's the painting right there. That smoky blue gray or red gray really hits these guys pretty hard. And we're just going to work with all these colors left over. This one is phthalo green and oxide Terra Rosa, but it could be oxide red light or phthalo or what is it? Venetian. So these two together. This is on the red side, the green side. I brought them all down to two. Yeah, down here to 2s or 3s values too for the final little back lighting there. It might even be too bright. That's the thing, is I don't want to go too bright. Over here we have, was transparent oxide red with blue. I wiped out all that. I'm just going to save that. I don't need too much of this. I just wiped out that whole pile up there making these guys. So just a little bit of it back in here. I'm just going to do half and half blue and oxide red, transparent oxide red. That color comes down. You can see it really kind of a nice warm color. It's just a lot like burnt sienna. But I was looking for the grass color on this thing, the bottom grass color. And I thought this was really pretty close to it, but that it wasn't right. But so I took some of that pile. That is again, I have Terra Rosa and phthalo green, but it could be alizarin or could be a could be Venetian in that, or oxide red light. And just on the green side, a little bit more on the green side, not as much white. And that's pretty much, can take care of this area here at the end, get this area here. And then I was also looking for this mid-tone area here. So like I needed a gray here. And I can go through here and you can see, these guys are gray, but just a little cool, a little too cool, not there. These guys are better, but not there. They're too warm. So I made my own. So I took a little bit of this grass color here, added cad red to it to cancel it out till I got to just a little bit of red into it. And then I took a piece of this and I added more white. Pretty much got it. Maybe it's the hair dark. Always add white. That's an easy fix. But I get this one in there, and all these other ones I can put in there, and they'll play well. There we go. That is this painting. It's not too difficult, but a lot of fun. So let's get going. I'm gonna turn on my stuff. Any questions? Go ahead and ask them. Okay, I'm gonna tone mine with oxide red, transparent oxide red or burnt sienna. Just a nice kind of a warm color back there. That should warm up the whole palette and gray out some colors. It should work out really well. So I'm going to get everything up and going, and we can move on. Come back You guys are good today. You guys don't even ask questions. Okay. There we go. I'll bring you guys in. There we go. Right there. All right. A lot of talking. All of a sudden dried out. Big brush, big ideas, right? Here we go. Yup. Forgot to put my oil out. See, always something, right? A little safflower oil. Good. Okay, safflower oil and oxide red light or transparent oxide red. Yeah, screwing everybody up. Just to tone the canvas. Some of this tone I might live with too. Who knows? So, a lot of times you might be able to get away with it. So even up here on the top edge, I'm just going to keep it really light up there. I can tone it down here. I don't care. Also, I don't want too many these stripes and stuff on this painting to become stripes. I don't want this and things to be about too equal. So that's why I'm kind of if I'm going to take away anything, I'll probably take away some of that sky up there. Take this up a little bit higher so they won't have a too even. So if I take it up like that, that's much better. And if I need to make anything bigger, I'd probably make this light area in the middle bigger, design wise. Thinking about it. Just thinking. That's what I do. Just thinking ahead. If I can make sure this thing lays out right. It's really doesn't lay out right. There's no point to painting it. Then it's just an exercise. All right, little thing. Let's get this going here. Wipe off some of this tone here. Don't want it everywhere. Make sure I don't have too many stripes. Sometimes the subtleties even screw these things up. There we go. Lighten this one up just a hair. Even that line shows up too much. Okay. So this one's over half. Definitely want to go over half. Yeah. There's a little undulation to it. Be nice. Okay. Sheep here. Another one down here. Some back there. Okay. Another one up here. That's good. I like the layout of the sheep. Sometimes that's kind of like those chickens. Just laying them out. Sometimes it's just the layout of them works for you. Okay. This guy here, the big one, laying here. Definitely, I don't want him too much in the middle. So he's either got to come to this side or that side. I just want to get him out of the middle a little bit. So I'm going to bring him to this side. His head's probably going to bring him back to the middle, but we will see. You get that face, and that's about it. All you get. You barely get anything on this guy. So I just hedge my bet. Really keep him over on this side just for another thing. This guy will bring everything off anyway. Big round one. That's a nice thing about this one too, is you don't have to deal with feet, hooks, or anything like that. It's just they're just wool and this guy here. Box in, put the right size box, get the right thing, just start changing angles, rounding off things. Everything else kind of just got a couple sheep here, not right in a row here. Well, these 4 sheep pretty much are the painting. I mean, really, everything of them. If you hit the shapes right, you should be pretty good. Little that's about right. Angle so it's not too flat. Way into the painting. Everything else, it's set or just laid down. That guy's probably big up there. He's a monster. So let me look at it again, get in front of it. Rounder on this side. Ears. Okay. Should work. Should work. All right. Okay. Just gonna go through my colors and see how we turn out here. This guy crunch round off at the bottom here. Let's start off with my alizarin in blue. Full strength at this point, probably just a little watered down, but I want to get this start to get this guy. This guy is going to get probably most of that color. This is on the alizarin side. And being a transparent color, it's great because I can get a little bit more dark lower and then let it drift up here. Into a side. Always a little bit less, into his neck here, definitely. And its face. I'm going to put it into his face. I'm going to keep him kind of a purplish face here. least at the bottom. Let's see. Okay. Find a little bit more, some of that in this guy too. If I wasn't using like phthalo green, I probably would be going with just these two colors for a lot farther in the painting. Definitely want to get it in the front areas, like this, the chest area here on this guy. Get some really dark in there, even though that's the thing about these darks. We're used. A lot of them are transparent, and even when they go in dark, they don't go, full strength, crazy dark. This guy's head could probably go a little bit bigger. Got a big honker of a body on him, so head probably could go bigger at the top. Maybe even okay. This guy too, just a little bit of that into him. And mostly in the bottom area here. A lot of this is going to be washed out a little bit too. I just want to get this dark in here. Just to start to get this get some values to work with, some color in here. The thing about these guys too, they're almost like silhouettes. So getting those colors at the end right is going to be really important. And even like this, I'm going, got a lot of that warm transparent oxide in here showing coming through here. So yeah, even though I'm putting it in with a cool color, it's really not that bad, because that's really close to what I need right here on this guy. Almost feel that it's switching from transparent oxide to purple in this guy. All right, that's a lot of one color. That's a long ways to go with that guy. I'm going to throw it also in the very bottom end of the grass, I think. Yeah. Throw it in the bottom of the painting too in here. Really light though, and just maybe the blue, I'm going to go straight 8 to blue. Now I'm going to go to the blue side of this color. That was just one color. That was just alizarin in blue. Now this is just blue and alizarin. I might have to just come back with this color at the end. Probably too low. I kind of use this line between the land and the laying down sheep. I'm gonna start looking for blue. I think you find more blue on these guys, probably on the top edge, closer here, coming down. So that's gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun because there are so many colors combinations from one to the next, and the purples to the greens to the grays, and I'm getting these blues in here every once in a while. This guy's fact probably comes up here a little bit higher. Comes more of an angle. Okay. Yeah, sneaking up on it. We've got the drawing we're not too worried about. Okay. I'm going to paint in the green now. So I'm going to come down here to the grass green I made up. It's kind of a little dark though. So it's really going to just go working into these areas here, into this purple I put in here already. I just want a kind of a mix. I want a little bit of purple showing through. I want a little bit of blue showing through. I want to, because I still have, this is really pretty light, and I'll still have,
What mix is that? What's the green mix?
The green mix was phthalo green and oxide. It's Terra Rosa, but if you have oxide red light, you would do that. It's on the phthalo green side with just a little bit of white. So I got my purple markings in there. They're staining of the canvas pretty good. And so just use those guys just a hair more. They're going to come up to, pretty much halfway up the side here. Might not do much with this. I might have to put this purple blue back in here. I put it in just a hair light. Just a hair light. Not bad though. Not horrible. And if I was trying to speed paint this, I probably wouldn't have put in the sheep because they're, as you can see, their sheep are pretty pretty simple to draw and put in here. I might have done it a little differently. And as you can tell, just doing that, I mean, wow. Just the leftover remnants of what's on my brush of phthalo green and then oxide, well, I have Venetian in it, but, or not Venetian, I have Terra Rosa in this color. As you can tell, it's pretty much what I needed color wise. So we all should be all right. It's always good to know. Blend these two together a little bit. Oh, I don't need that line here. Don't want lines. Like I said, I'm just going to go back and put this blue back in here stronger, right in here. This shadow area here for this guy. I always put those back in. Yeah, the next colors, God, I just don't want to go to the sheep colors yet. So I'm going to keep going on the land back here. Let me see how this one comes in here. So these are going to be the ones with white in them. They're, this is a transparent oxide red with a little bit of blue in it. And I'm going to use that to go up. I'm going to go from the back of the sheep about where right where the shadow starts, and go up a little bit into these colors. Again, you can really tell when something when white's involved here. It just acts really gets opaque quickly. So I'm going to go about 3/4 of the way up with this color, then switch over to its warmer side. Okay. Let's get over this guy. That's about it. Thin it out. let's see, this is the next version of it, just the same color, but just on the transparent side. So it has just a little more warmth in it. That's what I was kind of seeing back in here. This is what I was kind of going for. Value wise, might be, yeah, it might be too dark. We'll work with it. You know what I mean? Ochre added to it or something. I'm gonna lighten it up just a hair. It's all right. Get the basics in. We can bring this color back down. I'm not gonna worry about some of these sheep. I could get them at the end. I'll send out a border collie to go pick them up. There you go. See, you got it. I figured you would. How's that Pyrenees doing?
Oh, she's doing great.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's coming around, learning about her new home and doing really well.
God. Looks like a good one.
Yeah, she's a real sweet dog.
They all are, I think. I mean,
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, that Pyrenees look just so much like a golden. I tell you, just giants compared to them. But you know, they have a lot of.
They do kind of, and I've had Goldens. I love Goldens, and yeah, they do.
Yeah. So that shape down. Bring this guy down a little bit. Okay, so yeah, I'm just working. This is the burnt, red side of that, the transparent oxide in blue, but this is that was on the transparent oxide. Might have went just a hair dark too. That's okay. Well, that's okay. I want to finish off some of this grass stuff down in here too. Let me see if this is going to work. This is what I kind of ran into. It was back to phthalo, basically the same colors we have down here on the they were phthalo green and or Terra Rosa, Venetian or whatever, red here with white and stuff. And I was seeing that it's just a more subtle value change coming into like an 8 and stuff coming in here. Just a little bit more white add to it. I probably could be using a bristle brush for this too right now. Because the way I'm stabbing at it, I could just do a couple of strokes and bristle brush would have get the same effect. I wanted a little bit of broken up here. Maybe I'll be coming back with a bristle brush pretty soon here. So there we go. It starts to change a little bit. Get a little more subtleties in here. That's pretty good. Okay. Before I paint these guys, I'm just gonna wipe out my brush. Let's see. I'm gonna see about putting in this land back in here, just up there. Let's see. This is a lot of white. I mean, that's the thing on this painting. Everything starts to get white very quickly. Yeah, that's just a little bit too bright, too dark. Wow. So yeah, that was for this. Okay. This is basically that grass, that green we made up, plus cad red, plus a lot of white. And basically it's this gray here. And the thing about putting in, definitely when you're putting in subtlety like this, lose the edges, no edges. Everything is going to be pretty simple. Soft edges at least, you know, just rub them out with your finger, especially up here. Okay. Oh, get this off to the side here. Just get some paint there. That's bigger. That's a bigger. That barn, that house. I'm gonna come back again, go back a little bit. This is that oxide, transparent oxide red and blue, but it's on the oxide red side. And if I can come, I'll bring it back because I want to put in this trees right in here at the end and work it, just slightly work it into this light color here. Because I think it's basically all I have to do is get the tops of them and then just blend it into the land here. And that'll work out really well. You just have just a little bit of warmth, a little bit of subtlety too. Like that. Let me see. That's just a little strong. Just gonna mix a little bit of that into the color I put in here. This cad red, phthalo green, in the green, and white added into it. It's really a good gray. But just by adding just a little bit of that transparent oxide into my color, it darkened it up just enough and warmed it up just a hair. Still gray, but I can get it into this like back tree line back in here. Like I said, I want it. This is where I can at least start to think about getting those lines in. I want them. Just very subtle. I'm probably gonna have to come in here and just light this up one more time. I might really doesn't look dark on my palette at all, but boy. So just getting these values right, and pretty much the painting, we can take care of the rest. I'm gonna go with try this transparent oxide with just white, a little bit of white. That blue in here, that's blue in there. I think that just gets the way. Basically, what I got it here is just transparent oxide with just a little bit of white. Well, it's a lot more white, I mean, to this value. Make sure this line breaks. So got that landscape done. The house done. See, a very fancy house up there. It's just an angle for a roof, and just another angle for the back part of the house. Okay. Yeah, a little bit, it'll be fun. All right. That's good. I just want to go get this one more time. I want to light it one more time now. Like I said, maybe just ochre and a little bit of white would be the better value. A little bit of warmth, but if I can get the value at the same value as I got there, I think I can lighten this area up and warm it up just a hair more. I still like the grayness of it. Just a little warmth from the sun would be good. Yes. And then we'll go in and we'll just crank out the rest of these guys. Paint these guys. They don't get a whole lot. They're being round and stuff like that. Each one's gonna be a little bit different colors and stuff just by where they end up. I mean, where they are spatial wise, but shouldn't be bad. This is working out pretty good. In fact, down in here, that kind of grayed out. I had it started up with pure color up here. Just to lose these lines a little bit. All right, good enough. Gonna get going on our bad sheep. Not bad, right? There we go. A little bit better. Just get a little bit more right in here, but oop. It's just way too big. Or neck needs to be bigger. Neck and chest. Okay. Looking at that drawing wise now. Dang it, this is coming along. Probably, like I said, probably should be putting in with a bristle brush anyway. I like to go as far as I can with that big brush. Now I'll go with the bristle brush. One here. This is like a filbert bristle brush. Just has a little bit rounder edges to the tip, kind of low, like a flat, but just a little clipped. Of course, you guys know that. So background's pretty much in there already. That's pretty good. Starting to feel right. You know, soft. You can getting ready for some pushing, right? Pushing around. He said, I don't even mind not doing the sky. You know, sometimes it's cool. I thought, you know, that was in my plan, right? It was my plan. So it's good. I can get away with that. As long as it was in my plan that I was not going to paint that sky.
No paint at all on the sky? No? Okay.
I just toned it. I just left the tone in there. I'm just going to leave it a warm tone. Just a warm tone. If I come back and paint it, it will be the same value. I'll be painting it the same thing. Basically, that's what I was thinking. So, well, we'll see. We'll see. God, I think this guy's a little cartoony, a little too cartoony, shape-wise. All right. Bigger. Okay. So we just have some cools in there of shapes. Now we're going to go through. Now I'm going to get into my into these guys, into the warmer values. So some of the phthalo greens and the oxide reds, the transparent, not transparent, but alizarin and stuff. I'm gonna rub that in here, and again, now I am with a bristle. Getting that real dark into that shaft area here. Lose that line too. I don't want any line there. I just wanted to keep it meshed together, that the grass and the sheep is one. So that's coming in here. This is that was alizarin and phthalo green. I'm going to put a little more phthalo green in its back end and maybe in its front end. So it's on like a little bit more on the phthalo green side than these guys' areas. I just like right up to his head. Okay, same with this guy in the front, other guy next here. I want to get that red. This is a phthalo green and oxide and phthalo green and alizarin. on the alizarin side. Getting that in this deep shape here. And then then as I go up, I'll just change it to more of a green up top here. And you can see it's very, then a little green into his face and back of his neck, back of his head and neck right up here. Definitely want to do that. Tip of his nose is definitely dark red, more purple right here. Tough to get a lot of color with a bristle like this, because it's gonna do this. It's gonna scratch in there, scratch it in, scratch it off, scratch it in, scratch it off. That's what they do. That's what they're for. But I'm just looking again. As I go back, I'm going to be switching thinking here. You know, these guys had red in them. This guy's going to be basically take this. The green is going to take over where the red was on this guy. He's going to be more green to the bottom, where I had red in the bottom on these guys. As I go back in space, green's going to come in, take that place of where the red would go, lower into these things. This is just basic, getting the basic tones in here. I'm going to go with a little more red in him. Out of that. Switch the oxide red and phthalo green side. A little too dark. It needs a little white, so really even that color's a little white will cool it off. Yeah, got no little. Little happy there. So that's about it for my my dark, you know, non-white colors. This one just got already had to switch over here to my oxide red and phthalo green was a little too strong for that area. Maybe I can use it. Maybe I can use it on this area here on this guy. Top. Just a little bit at the top edge. Bring it back into his face, probably a little warmth. Nice thing is we're not dealing with eyes. Huh? You don't have to deal with eyes, you're just shapes. Just find a little more warmth in your things. Yeah, these guys are good. I think they're just need some blue in them. All right, I'm gonna go to my midtones and start getting these other sheep back in here in. It's too dark for that guy. Okay, this I'm working on my blues and my things, and basically it's Terra Rose and blue and white midtones here coming in. Seeing where these guys fit and find the blues around the top edges. Down. This is blue and Terra Rosa and white. This is on the blue side. Going into that phthalo green, you know, just letting them two live together. I'll work on the top edge and drag it down a little bit and let the paint just kind of come off this bristle brush, and it will pretty much create the wool. As long as every stroke, I'm giving a little more space to it. No,
What color are you using, Jim?
right there, I am using blue and Terra Rose and white, and a little bit of white at like number 8 coming in here. And this is even the color that's the real color. This is pretty much, but it's close. It's really close to the basically the phthalo green and alizarin that I think the color is going to end up being. That's coming along pretty well. This guy here, look for the purples in them. I'm seeing got a lot of warms in here. I'm just going to pretty much end up going over. So this is on the blue side too. Great thing is just when you get these colors that are just so much the same value, perfect same value, and you put them over each other like this, they just start to, you know, when they start to work together really well. You know, you can still see that warm edge in here. Oh, we should put in the feet too. Now, this is where you don't want to just get rid of all the color you just put in there too. You want to keep these colors working together. So nice bristle. Sometimes you'll just do that. For these guys, go back in here. That's kind of nice. These guys got one a little dark. This guy's dark. This guy too. Just gonna work that a little bit. Guy needs to be just a hair longer. Rounder bum. Pretty much just a square. Pretty simple. And the back leg coming off the back end, just pointing out just a little bit at that corner. Okay. Too dark for any of this, guys. These guys back in here. These guys need to be lighter. Right there, that one will be fine. All right. All right, so this basic shapes working out. I think this could be worked. Yeah, his face is just a little wide. Okay. Nice. I'm gonna look at the red value of that. Now this is Terra Rosa and blue on the red side. This is where I was thinking I was seeing it right in here in this guy, right in the wool. I mean, just basically switching off red to blue, more red than blue. That's all this is. Giving him just a little bit more warmth. Keep him very grayed out. You'll find it probably in this guy's face, just a little bit of warmth red in that edge here. It's a little dark. Better, just a little dark. Has a way back here on this guy. This guy need to be lightened. Can't use the same one I just used here because it's just a touch too dark for back in here. These guys too good lightened up a little bit. There we go. Not a whole much more to do on those guys. Those guys are going to be pretty much it. I think I need a lot of lighting. Let's see. All right. We're starting to get somewhere. Now I'm going to get to my base. The colors I think this guy really is. You know, we're going to start. So I'm going to clean out my brush and get a little bit of that guck out of here. And so I'm going to get to the phthalo green and lizards with white. That probably got 8. Might be, yeah, it's 8. This is on the green side. And you can just see when he goes in. You know, it's going to go over a lot of this. I already have these transparent colors in here. So scratching it over them so it doesn't just wipe out everything I did. This is a phthalo green side. It's very gray. This is like a almost a perfect mix of it, just slightly on the green side. So you get, you know, red and green making gray here. This guy came pretty close. This is what he does. I want to finish off this thing here. This guy here, so you can start seeing the highlights on this guy. Really coming into these sides of his wool where it's just catching a little backlight right here coming into the ground. So you start getting and putting in these colors. That's when it starts to get exciting. And then when you put in the final little rim light into this thing. Definitely want to keep this guy on the green side. I want this guy more green up here. There we go. Oh boy, that's good. That's good. This green I'm using on this guy right here is oxide red or Terra Rosa in green and white. On the green side, it's really still, that green makes it cool. That's what I'm using right on this guy, right here. I could just see it right in here. Okay. Yeah, now for the color I thought it was going to be all this about. This is a alizarin in phthalo green and white. And again, number 8. That's just really, this ends up being the highlights in the side of his face. These things right in here in the back edge, really. They've got a lot of little bright colors here yet to put in. And then the rim lighting should make it. There we go, pretty much. I still got ears to put in and stuff like that, but I'll put it on this edge here. No, I'm leaving that. I'm gonna leave that alone. Keep this guy behind him. A little more cools going in this guy. What are we doing? Oh, half an hour. All right. Like I said, with a bristle brush, I'll probably just go over this thing a little bit like this, so I don't get too many choppy lines here. Start to get choppy lines. Bristle brush to break those up. I'll come back in with the regular. Darker patches of grass. A little spotty, so. See it pull together that way. Think about the shadows underneath these guys too. more you lose, the better it's going to be. Edges you lose, and dark there. Okay. I'm going to come back in with a synthetic now. Probably a mid-size one, not too huge one. I want one that I can just has a good edge to it. How should do it? 5, 6 for mine. All right, I'm going to start in putting in some highlights. Bad hairs on this guy, but see about bringing in this light and cutting him up. Highlights. I gotta hedge my bet first, thinking that some of these guys are gonna be way too bright, so I'm gonna go with some dull ones. This is oxide red and blue with white, probably a like we said, 3s. So it's a little cooler, but this is on the red side still. It's a little grayed out. And what I want to do is just shape this guy's back edge here. And I'm just going to touch and go. Just using the tip of the brush. Oh, good to see that it might be a little dark. Just good. Because I can always go brighter. Problem always comes when you want to go darker and stuff. So I'm just looking for these edges on the outside. These are probably, I might even do another ring of this with a little bit warmer color, just a little bit more red in it, and see how that goes. Did not put any ears. Let me put those in. Flick it. Just flick it. A little bit more darkness in his face. That's about it. Oh, ouch. Just correcting, keep drawing. And it's just trying to find that some areas that might have some little bit of warmth in them. Go back in here, try this. Cool against the warm. This is more on the blue side than the lizard. On the white, I'm using a blue and with the Terra Rosa, using the what blue side. I'll come back and use that again, see where else I can. This is that alizarin and blue I made up, just mostly blue. And just a little bit of white. This is where I saw it. Right in here in this little area coming back here and coming down his back. Right in here. That was mostly blue, just a little bit of. There's a little bit of red into it, mostly blue, and just a touch of white. It is mixing with some other colors now, so. I'll see if I can use it anyplace else. Pretty much no. Pretty much it. Maybe I could use right here on this guy right here. It's never full strength anymore. Now it's only full strength right in here. So maybe I can get a little bit more into this guy here. I think his shoulders here, I can get a little bit. Down in here. Okay. Ooh. I didn't even put in legs. That's pretty bad. I was thinking about everything else, I didn't put in a leg. That's a nice thing. They're just going to be grayed out anyway. I did put it in legs. All right. I feel better about that. Now I'm just gonna hit these highlights one more time. I think those ones could go brighter. I think they need to be just a little pinkier. Maybe this. Let's see. I have a lizard and white. On that guy. Trying to control my brightness. I think in the front of their heads, I'm going to be going with a little warmer tone. These guys are really pretty much the only ones that are going to get any real big highlights. I should be warmer anyway. Let's see what this does. And do a little cad red and white too. And just a touch of yellow in it since it's got in my brush. We'll use that. So this is a lot of white though, but just a little more intense color here for these sides right in here. Let's see, I was going to put in their faces too. Just a little more cad red, more white. Just to catch this highlight. Just separate that out. This guy has a warmer one too. Changing the drawing as I go. And we should be there. that on top too, I think. This guy. See, a lot of this stuff, I'm sure you probably guys probably didn't see it, just kind of a little mess. Just basically using the last of these lights, I'm sorry, it's backlighting to do all the drawing changes I need. Like that one, just missing the tail, cutting the tail off and stuff, putting it back in. I'll bring you guys in for a second here in a second. Like I said, I didn't even do anything back in here yet. This is the whole painting right here. Everything else is very, if anything, subtle little glints. Even when I'm adding red, it's so little. Okay. Yeah, and this guy's even too dark. And too shapy. I mean, just even when you get edges on some, whoop. Like this. Ended up way too dark. Yeah, I don't think you need the telephone poles at all. No, I mean, you need to get back there. If it doesn't get back there, it doesn't get back there. All right. Take a look at it and let's see what you guys did. Okay, come up to them. You can start to see the gray values, that they're really tight. You know, we've got a little bit of blues and going in here. I think it's a little rich compared to really what it is going on there. Back there, of course, I didn't do anything to the sky, and just slight tones there. That's it for that. Probably, I'll be taking another look at it. Let's see what happens. All right, let's see what you guys did. We got who painted and who didn't. Turn on everything, and let's see where you are. And if you don't get them finished, I mean, finish them up, but you know, put them up on the student site. Be happy to, you know, give you more critiques. Molly's up. Molly,
I'm working on it. Yep. Okay. Let's see here. Let me turn around. Hello?
hello.
Okay.
Lost.
I don't know what
You
my
just-
screen went black.
Yeah, you just lost connection there. I mean,
Uh-oh.
video connection. Maybe you hit your. Can you hear us? No. No, Molly shut. Sorry, Molly went off. Okay, that leaves Cindy and Allison and Sarah and Anne Marie. Whoever wants to turn everything on, or I'm gonna. There we go, Cindy. Good girl. Going to Cindy. Well, Molly will be back here in a second. Oh, beautiful. Wow. Wow, those are great sheep. Really
you.
nice on those guys. They don't, you know, good job. Really good job. Good layout. Good colors back there. I like what you did. You really held back. Okay, little things that front sheep, not the front sheep, but the one to the left. He looks a little long, or little, not
This one?
long, but no, the other one on the other
This one?
side of him. That one, yeah. Yeah, he looks a little fat. You might want to push some grass up into him, or something like that. Just take the roundness off him a little bit. And then the one
Okay.
you were painting out looks a little skinny, but that's about it. I think
This
there's
one or this one?
that one. That one looks a little skinny
This
in the
one?
back end. No, he looks fine. He's good.
Oh,
He's your
this
hero.
one.
This one, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then there's a cow or a sheep laying down way back there. He's a little too dark, but I would say lighten him up.
Right.
You know, really keep him settled down. Anything else? No, he's pretty cool. How you feeling about it?
I like, this was fun. I really like them. I got a lot of work to do all over the grass and the sheep, but the grass
Good.
is just sort of mush.
You did a nice job. Keep the edges soft. Don't let us see too much. I would say, because of you know, it is a slightly foggy, misty morning, so to capture that, always soft edges. Don't get too tight. You know, just a finger smush here and there always feels good too. Otherwise, yeah, really great color. Good job back there. You know, just watch your edges, soften them up with a finger if you have to, and that'll be good. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Really nice.
It
Really
was
nice.
fun.
Oh, we're going across the pond. We're going to Allison.
Hi,
Allison,
sorry
thank
I
you
didn't
for-
paint today.
Oh, but you turn
I
on your
know.
stuff.
I know it was such a good, it was actually so nice to watch actually. It was,
Yeah.
you know, that stress of mud and mixing mud, so it was
I
great.
know. Oh, those grays, yeah, they all look like mud, and if you don't lay them out just the right values and on top of each other, yeah, you get mud.
Yeah, it would be nice to have some more time to do it. And I like how you changed it to portrait as well. I wouldn't have thought of that. So it was good to see.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you. No, thanks. I appreciate that. All right. Well, have a good weekend.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's see what.
Look, we're starting with the Prosecco a bit early. Well,
There you go.
It's early there. It's early there, but here it's already 6 o'clock at night.
I know, but yeah, you guys had a good day too. It looks very green out there.
Yeah,
Behind
it's beautiful today. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice
Okay,
to
let's
see you
see.
guys.
Yeah, it's good seeing you. Let's go
Nice
to
seeing you,
Anne Marie.
Allison.
Hey, Anne.
Hi.
You painted. You have your outfit on.
Yes, I painted a little bit. I actually watched probably a little like half of what you were doing to follow the process, and I took some notes. So I'm kind of at the atmospheric blob stage.
Well, that's always
Oh.
good.
I really just have some shapes set in and stuff. So
It goes
Right.
quickly though. Yes.
Mhm.
I mean, that's the thing on this one. It's very atmospheric, and you almost have to sneak up on it, like you
Yeah.
did. I mean, if you dive right into it, sometimes you lose the softness in the mist as you're going in there. That's really quite nice. In fact, now that it's sharpened up there, you can start to see. Yeah, you just sneak up on it. You got everything there ready. Wow, that's. I don't think, I think you start to, to find some more colors in there and shapes a little bit better, and then really do the final little shaping with your brush. You're just the rim lighting. That's all you have to do. That's really in a great position. Keep moving towards that way. Sneak up
Yeah.
on it.
So
Good job.
it was fun painting, some and focusing on colors. I love these colors.
Yeah.
And then watching what you were doing and taking a few notes about how you were layering with the highlights and the low lights, so to speak, the shadows. So I think I have a good sense of where I need to go.
Okay. Good for you. Also, hey, I'll get back to you. I'm going to send out a thing on our other plein air workshop in South Haven. I'll send you out everything, all the more information on that as we get going. We get closer to it. So
Well, it's just around the corner. It's going to be
it
great.
is. I just had to finish one workshop to get to the next one. There she is. Hi, Sarah.
All right, so here's mine.
Cool.
Oh, right.
Nice.
Good. Fabulous, Sarah.
Thank you.
Really, really good color. You really kept those grayed out and rich. I love you nailed the grass color. You really did. You did a really great job on the grass. And your sheep are coming along really well. Just keep them soft edges. That's all you got to do. And that's, you're on your way. See how much more coolness you can get into those guys. And that's about it. Because a couple of them feel just a hair warm, but you're on your way to just keeping them just cooling off that one standalone one behind the laying down one. Just a little warm, but everything else is looking really great.
Thank you.
Oh, I like it. Almost feels like water back there. Like I like that idea a lot better than land. That's a smarter move. You're a smart girl. Damn it. Okay. Good job. What else do you think? What are you thinking?
I actually thought this was a fun one to do. It was hard with all the black and grays, but it was a good challenge, so I appreciate it.
Just layering those guys out. It can be a lot of fun.
Mhm.
just finding those colors. All of a sudden, your eyes will start to see all of them. That's the neat thing. Congrats, good work.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Molly's back. Let's see if Molly's back. Molly. There we go, Molly. Good
Nice.
job.
Okay, well, let me back up here. Hang on, let me get it in a right mode here.
Good to see you're happy with it, Molly. That's a nice job. That has some nice possibilities. Really going well.
Yeah,
You know, yeah, you're on the
I have
verge.
a lot to do.
You know, what the hell? I gave you a whole hour and a half. Come on. You know, you guys are just taking advantage of this, slowing down. It's really coming along. I'd say, yeah, just watch your keep graying out things, and you got them
Okay.
separated out, reds and warms and cools. Just, when you gray them out, just keep having fun.
Okay.
That's all it is for me. Is this I love the two sheep in the back, the tones in those two guys. That's really gorgeous. I really like those two. That's a nice stuff.
Thank you.
Good job. And I'm gonna, like, if everybody else, I'm gonna be like Sarah Taylor and probably make that just water back there.
Yeah, I
line.
like that idea.
I do too. That's simple, clean, and it's much more majestic than trying to let to be anything here. Maybe I got ships back there. That's what mine are. I'm gonna put a couple sails on them, and you're set. You've all of a sudden we shifted this puppy. That's great, because that's really good thinking. I'd like to, to simple change, not doing anything, all of a sudden it feels so much nicer than what the photo is.
You guys, sorry, do you guys we have two shows here called Portrait of the Artist, of the Artist for the Year, and Landscape Artist of the Year here. And they get artists, amateur and professional, and then they paint a scene or paint a person, and then they advance until finally they get the final. But there was one scene on the South Coast, which was an old village where they used to make ship. I think they constructed the Mary Rose there, and it's still a tiny little village. And this looks exactly like that if the water is there, because it's this very rural village, and all the pasture ends at the sea. Well,
Nice.
and an inlet. So there's no tide. I mean, there's no waves or anything. But it's very old, old looking, and it's exactly like this. You have the sheep looking at the boats on the water.
That's a good idea. I like that. Yeah, I love that show too. I've watched that and the Portrait Art of the Year.
Yeah.
Both
Yeah.
those things are like, wow. So you should, if it ever gets around you should take your paints and go sit out there with those guys. Maybe you can pick yours.
Yeah, it's so stressful, isn't it? Like, can you imagine? You've got all these people looking at you, and then you're making all these design decisions and choices and everything, and they're judging you and looking over your shoulder and distracting you. I don't know. I can't think of anything worse.
That's
You'd
the way
be good
plein
at
air
it. You'd
is.
be good at it. Yeah.
Yeah. You do get used to it. Sometimes you get a lot of people coming up to you. You don't get much done when you get in a busy area. But yeah, it's still fun. Yeah, I like the show. That's a good show.
Yeah.
So.
It is. It's controversial in the art world here. The winners.
Yeah, the winners are always that thing. I in everything. I even went at the OPA juried show and stuff. It's tough to pick out a winner sometimes because of there are so many good pieces. I don't want to be a judge like that. It's too hard. Okay.
Allison, do you know the landscape painter Peter Keegan? He's also a teacher there.
Yeah, he's not far. He's in the next county, Peter Keegan.
That's what I thought. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's an interesting guy.
Yeah, yes, he is interesting. He's very I think he's very meticulous, isn't he?
He's what?
Very meticulous.
Very, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I haven't met him, but a lot of people, I'm in a local art group and they've met him and they've traveled. It's not very far, it's probably about half an hour drive, but they've met him and they've gone to some of his talks and everything.
Yeah.
So
Well, we
yeah,
like
I don't know
Jim.
him firsthand. So
We like our teacher, Jim.
yeah, no, Jim's the best.
Yeah.
Absolutely best.
They're waiting for that to come
Pretty
back
good guy.
around.
Yeah.
You know, that's what's called a pivot.
Yes.
Good tip.
Yeah. That was a good pivot. Very smart.
Oh, guys, thanks a lot. Let's see. Yeah, we got another class next week, and then we're off. Like I said, I have a workshop the next weekend. Next week, what do you guys want to paint? Anything interesting?
Oh,
Well, I
Special?
picked this week, so it's someone else's turn.
I'm sorry.
I picked this week, so someone else's turn to pick.
Oh,
oh.
cheap one. Okay. All right, we'll do
Who
a
wants to do something?
cityscape with 100 people, 1,000 people, something like
Oh,
that. then.
God.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
What about 3 people close up talking just on their faces?
3 people. Well,
No,
there
no,
you go.
I'm sadly I'm away next Saturday, so
Oh.
I'm gonna miss the class sadly.
Oh,
But do the
no
3
wonder
people
you're saying
anyway.
that then.
Yeah, 3 people talking.
Oh,
up close,
darn.
having conversation. Doggone it. Okay, then I can't make it. Yeah, okay. I'll figure something out. I'll figure something out good. I know I'm painting water for tomorrow for Monday night, so
Ooh.
maybe we'll do a wave or something like that.
Oh
Yeah,
no, that's
really,
gonna
I
miss something
With
really good.
waves.
Well, yeah,
I don't
hey,
get waves at all.
all right, I'll figure out something bad for you then. Okay, people got conversation. Oh, geez. Anyway, guys, thanks a
you,
lot
Jim.
for joining in.
Thank
I really
you, Jim.
appreciate you
Lovely to
guys.
see you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
See
Bye.
everybody.
Have a good
Bye-bye.
week.
A great
Bye.
weekend.
Bye.
You
Bye.
too.